Olga Morphew, librarian at the Santa Ana Public Library. Before anything, I would like to thank you for joining us today on this very special craft that we're about to make, your Take and Make Wooden American Flag. I had a lot of fun making it, so I hope you do too. So let's get started. So now we will begin by going over our materials. In your craft, you should have received a little piece of paper like this, identifying all the items that you have received on your packet. You will have received 1 bottle of red paint, 1 bottle of white paint, 1 bottle of blue paint, 1 sponge brush, 1 ruler, 3 little cups for your paint, and 8 little stars. In addition to that, you should have received a little string of glue dots that will be used for your stars. Now, if you don't want to use your glue dots, you're more than welcome to use also blue tape. That will help you tape or glue your stars to the flag. Okay, we will begin with this section of our flag, which is the stars and the canton. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be using any piece of paper. It could be a carton, paper itself, anything that you can place your stars on so that you can paint. So I'm just going to put them all here. I'm going to be placing them with some tape on the back. And then we're going to use our white paint, place it on our little cup. It doesn't have to be too much, just enough for our stars. And with your brush, just go ahead and paint. The important thing with this project is for you to have fun, have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and enjoy it. And what I did is I applied a second coat right away while it's wet. That way you can see that the paint is actually grasping better and it looks brighter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them aside so they can dry, and we'll come back to them later. While we're placing the stars to dry for about 10 minutes or so, we're going to begin working on our canton part of the flag, which is the blue part. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our blue paint, add some to our container. For this time, you're going to use your brush again, a ruler, and a pencil. The canton section is going to be 6 inches long by 5 inches high. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure 6 inches long here. We're going to make a note of it. And then we're going to go ahead and also measure the top about 6 inches as well. Now we're going to measure 5 inches high. So using those same dots, I'm going to place a ruler and measure 5 inches. So therefore, I have my rectangle here. To make it easier for you, if you like, you can also draw a line connecting these dots. And then we can begin painting. So we're going to get a little bit of your blue paint. And what you're going to do is you can always go with the grain of the wood. So for this particular project, it's going to be side to side. And again, don't worry if you think you're messing up, because you're not. This is only paint, and you can always paint over it. Now this section here, this palette in particular has some grooves. What you can do is you can use a tip of your sponge brush to go in there and paint. The brush makes it very easy for you to paint that section there. Now we're getting close to the edge, and to make it easier for you, what you can do is you can use blue tape. That will help you not go over the line, because remember, we're going to be working on the red and white stripes. So for the sake of this project and for you to see, I'm going to use a piece of blue tape, place it along the same line that I drew before. Just like this, and continue finishing painting the blue section. Another tip that I have is always go against the tape. This way the paint will not go underneath. Now at this point, now that I'm pretty much done, I'm going to be waiting about 10 minutes or so, let it dry, and give it a second coat. This way you will see a brighter blue. So as the canton is being dried up, I would say give it a few 10 minutes or so. We're going to be working on our stars again. We're going to give it another coat. So we're going to be using our white again. Okay, so now we're going to place this on the side so they can dry. This should have been dried more or less. I'm going to be removing the tape, and you will see how straight this looks. It looks pretty amazing, don't you think? Okay, so now we're going to be working on our stripes. And so as you can see, this palette has 4 different blocks of wood, and each block is about 2.5 inches long, or wide actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our ruler again, and we're going to divide that 2.5 inches into 2, which will give you about an inch and a quarter. So what I'm doing is measuring 1.25 inches from the top, just like this. And I'm going to be doing this to every single block. Now that they're all measured, I'm going to be doing a straight line right across. In doing so, we're not only having 1, 2, 3, 4 stripes, but we're actually making more out of it. We're making 2 stripes in each of the blocks, meaning we have 2, 4, 6, 8 stripes. So you're going to have a red, white, red, white, red, white, red, and a white one. This will actually add more character to your flag as well. So now that we have drawn our lines, another tip that I will give you again is you can either go by that or use your blue tape again. So again, I will use the blue tape so that you can see how I was able to do that. And just go along the line that you've drawn with your pencil. And we're going to begin with the red stripes. So again, go with the grain of the wood. And don't worry if you go over the blue. Remember, it's just paint and you can do it again to clean it up. I'm going as close as I can to the blue, pressing down on my brush so I can release some of the paint. And if you are using the blue tape, you will notice that you will be able to paint much faster and much easier without the worry of you going over the line that you've drawn. So this is our second line. We're gonna do the same thing to our third and our fourth stripe. Again, I'm gonna be using my blue tapes to show you. Definitely much easier with the blue tape. Okay, so we have red, where the blue section is going to be white, red. This part is going to be white again. Now this part up on top is going to be the red part that we're going to be painting. After you're done with the red, don't forget to give it a second or even a third coat so that your colors are more vibrant and your flag will be much brighter. At this point, I've only given the first coat first. Since we're done with the red now, we're going to be focusing on the white stripes. So I'm going to remove the blue tape from before. And I'm going to add new tape for the white stripes. Again, this makes it much easier for you to get a straight line. Keep in mind this is the first coat. Remember, you need to do 2 or 3 coats so that your colors are more vibrant. Okay, so we're going to go with the white now. I'm going to go to my next block now. Tape there too. And now we begin with our white paint for our stripes. Again, try to get as close as you can without going over to the blue part. But remember, just in case you do, it's okay, you can paint over it again. Now we're going to go to our second. And again, the blue tape will help you a lot for you not to go to the red section, which is a part that you have painted before. We're pretty much done with our white, at least with the first coat. Remember, we also have to let it dry for a few minutes so that we can give it a second or a third coat. Now that our colors are finally dried, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a second coat. But just to give you an idea of what it's looking like, I'm going to remove the tape. And as you can see, you have a red, white, which is beautiful. But if you give it a second or a third coat, you're going to get vibrant colors. So as you can see, after a few coats, this is what it would look like. You can see that the red, the white, and the blue colors are really alive now. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to our stars that we painted in the first place. And we're going to go ahead and place them on our blue side. And you can arrange them however you like. You can either use your glue dots that I have provided for you, or you can also use a little bit of the white paint and just dab it on the back and then just place it wherever you would like. The only thing that we recommend is for you, when you place your star, to actually put the tip of the star up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you and show you. And it just takes a little bit of paint on the back for each one of the stars. And I'm going to continue doing this with the rest of the stars. So there we have it. We have our flag that you yourself have completed. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial as much as I have. But before we leave you, I would like to invite you to visit our library website and take part in many of our virtual programs that we are currently holding. In addition to that, sign up to the summer reading program. We have the summer reading program for children's, teens, and adults. And so thank you again for everything. Until next time.